You ever lock eyes with someone and, for a heartbeat, the world blurs out? The chatter fades, your pulse climbs, and neither of you speaks. You walk away wondering if that instant meant anything at all, or if your imagination staged the whole thing. Here's the truth most men never hear. Attraction often hides inside silence, not because she doesn't care, but because she's terrified of what speaking that truth would unleash. Society trains women to play it cool, to hide eagerness, to protect themselves with measured calm. So she acts like she's fine, while her body quietly betrays what her mouth won't. You feel it too, right? That electric tension when eyes meet, when something in the air shifts and your jokes land deeper than they should. It isn't fantasy, it's psychology. When two people feel something but refuse to name it, the brain creates one of the most intoxicating loops imaginable. Seeing each other floods your system with dopamine. A casual touch triggers oxytocin. Your rational mind keeps whispering, don't say anything, don't spoil it. So both of you stay silent, and the silence swells, thick enough to drown in. But if you're both emotionally tuned in, that silence actually screams. Her body starts mirroring your rhythm. She unconsciously matches your tone, your posture, your tempo. She finds reasons to be close even when there's no reason at all. Still, something stops her. Not lack of feeling, protection of it. Women are conditioned to fear vulnerability. Yet when she's near the man who moves her, she fights that conditioning every time. That's why the tension has teeth. It's not rejection, it's resistance. Her mind is scrapping with her heart, logic with longing. There's a tiny, powerful moment when her eyes give her away. The gaze that holds a beat longer than comfort allows, then breaks too soon. That's the first sign that both of you feel something, but will not speak it. Watch for it. Her pupils may dilate, her eyes flick from your lips to your eyes to your chest in a blink. That micro movement is not deliberate, it's her subconscious scanning for chemistry and safety. Most men miss this because they're pretending not to care. But when eyes start doing the saying that mouths refuse, everything shifts. She will often look away quickly, laugh nervously, tug a hair, fidget. Anything to disguise the fact she just exposed a piece of herself. It's not disinterest, it's a mental alarm. He saw me. You notice this more during private or personal moments, or when the silence extends just long enough to feel heavy. She holds your look a fraction too long, challenges you with her gaze, then looks away like she's afraid of what you might discover. Psychologists call that cognitive dissonance, two truths at war. I want him versus I mustn't let him know. Micro expressions betray that battle. A soft bite of the lip, a subtle lean toward you, a quick glance when she thinks you're not watching. Every tiny motion is a coded confession. And here's the part that hits hardest. When you both feel it, your bodies sync without consent. Heart rates align, breathing patterns match, and your brains release the exact cocktail of chemicals associated with falling in love. It becomes a feedback loop. You feel their reaction, which deepens your reaction, which deepens theirs. This is physiological chemistry, not mere imagination. That's why a simple conversation with her can distract you for the rest of the day. A look across a crowded room can feel electric because your nervous systems are doing the talking your lips won't. This silent mutual feeling is emotional attunement, the eerie sense that you can feel another's state without a word. It begins as small echoes. You notice when she quiets in a room, the way her laugh hangs differently, the pause in her sentences that you somehow feel in your chest. Her moods echo in you. When she's low, you slump. When she's energized, you perk up. That's empathic resonance, and it's one of the clearest signs of mutual connection. Women, by nature, are tuned into emotion. When she starts matching your energy, finishing your thoughts, or detecting shifts in your state before you speak, that's her brain mapping you as emotionally relevant. If you feel it too, you've crossed a line most people never reach, the fragile border between interest and emotional entanglement. That's why empty small talk with her rarely feels empty. Silences become charged, laughter becomes joint, and even friction feels magnetic. This is emotional intimacy without language, rare, potent, and deeply disorienting. And here's the paradox: the deeper that connection grows, the harder it becomes to verbalize, because now it isn't only attraction, it's vulnerability. Opening the door risks a change neither of you can undo. So both of you protect the threshold. She teases, then retreats. You pull away and then reappear. It becomes a dance. Step forward, step back. Both of you insist you're just friends, while every part of you whispers, "This is more." This silence often morphs into avoidance. You'll notice a pattern. Closeness builds, then she cools off, texts less, becomes casual and detached. You replay interactions, trying to find the misstep, but the truth is, she hasn't lost interest. She's losing control. When an emotion gets too real, the brain's defense mechanisms kick in. For many women, that looks like avoidant activation, a retreat that feels safer than surrender. Her pulling away doesn't mean indifference, it means the feelings became too much. She's scared of being hurt, misread, or rejected, so she steps back. And this retreat is maddeningly inconsistent. She may act aloof and yet still watch your stories, respond when you go quiet, or linger at the edges of your life. It's like she's telling herself and you that nothing's happening, but her subconscious keeps slipping through. You feel confused and rejected, while what you're actually witnessing is fear disguised as detachment. Often, you mirror her distance. Suddenly, both of you vanish into a freeze that feels like protection, but is really a silent tug of war. Sometimes tension erupts as conflict, teasing, sarcasm, little spats that mask longing. You might use irritation to cover desire. She might weaponize indifference to test you. It's emotional projection. The connection becomes too strong, and pieces of your own self begin to show up in the other person, which terrifies you both. You'll catch yourself thinking of her randomly. She pops into your head, and seconds later she texts. You might dream about her and wake unsettled. Her laugh echoes in your memory. That is projection and transference, your brain knitting her into your emotional landscape. This is not obsession. It's evidence that your nervous system has linked her presence to significance. She's doing the same, mirroring your energy. When you withdraw, she becomes uneasy. When you are confident, she softens. She may talk about other people to test your reaction, to protect her heart while gauging yours. It turns into emotional chess, every move measured, every silence meaningful. You both crave closeness yet fear it. That tension is agonizing because the more you try to walk away, the stronger the pull grows. The avoidance is born of care, not contempt. Here's the cruel beauty: the deepest mutual connections often end without closure. No confessions, no final scene, just a private recognition that something powerful existed, and neither of you was ready for the consequences of saying it aloud. The silence becomes unfinished emotional business. The brain keeps replaying scenes, seeking resolution that never arrives. That's why years later, certain songs or smells will pull her memory back to you. The mind is trying to reconcile what was left unsaid. From a psychologist's perspective, unspoken attraction is brutally revealing. It teaches you who you are, what kind of presence affects you, what depth you are capable of. If you're feeling this ache, don't shame yourself. That sensation means you still believe in something real. In depth, over casual. Maybe she felt it too. Maybe she still does. But not every flicker is meant to become a relationship. Sometimes these sparks exist to remind you what true feeling feels like, so that when the right love arrives, you don't flinch. So, be honest with yourself. Have you ever had someone who felt like it could be everything, but both of you stayed silent? Share your story. I read every comment, and if this touched you, don't hide it. Like the video, subscribe for more psychological insights about love, and pass this on to someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes a single truth breaks silence and heals someone else. Remember this final thing: silence can be a shelter or a trap. It keeps you safe, yes, but it can also burn memories into your chest. Unspoken attraction is not failure, it's a lesson in courage. If you felt that pull, you're capable of depth. If she felt it too, then the truth is sitting quietly between you, waiting. Whether you speak it or let it be, that knowledge changes you. It teaches you what matters, what stirs you, and what you will no longer ignore. So tell me honestly, did you ever share something that could have been everything, but neither of you said the words? What happened? Share it below. If this landed inside you, if it felt like being seen, pass it on. The truth may be quiet, but it's powerful. And sometimes, hearing it is the first step toward not being afraid to speak.